Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back or welcome. Today I'm going to wrap up my thoughts on Bridgerton Season 2. So, I'm going to give you my overall thoughts on the entire season by highlighting the things that I thought the show did well in light of this being an inspired by season. And I will say right off the cuff that overall, this didn't work for me. I think that this season had serious pacing issues. I also felt like it had this theme of our characters' baser selves being amplified as they were pitted against each other. And I was disappointed as a book lover, but I do believe in giving people their things. So again, like I said, I'll be talking about the things I think that the show did well as diving a little bit deeper into why this didn't work for me. So I do think that the standout within this season is the on-screen chemistry between Jonathan Bailey and Simone Ashley. It is absolutely electric, and I did enjoy the tension between them in episode 4. I loved the flash of the leg in the woods, okay? I loved their arguing of who was looking at who and how. And I really enjoyed the scene between them in the woods because it harkens back to that flashback that we got with Edmund. I mean, they're in the same space, in the same woods. And although Anthony really missed out on the tutelage that he very much needed as a young man, I enjoyed, despite the snarky and contentious dialogue, how his actions screamed ease and comfort. You know, in the same space earlier on, he's younger, he's angry, he's a little flustered, and he's just learning to shoot. And here, he knows what to do, okay? And it just seems right between them, despite how much they're fighting it. I love how they could not help but just gravitate towards each other every time they were alone. And I loved that Daphne is the one that catches them. In fact, I thoroughly enjoyed how they used Daphne this season. She lovingly challenges Anthony every step of the way and is really the only one to frankly call out how ridiculous it is for him not to choose to be happy and to be with Kate. You know, Violet grazes the issue, and Daphne is clear about it from beginning to end throughout. And I really needed that as I was huffing and puffing through this, okay? Episode 5 gave me a moment of great elation and one of the biggest disappointments. We have one scene where I think is sound in terms of logic on the part of Anthony, and another where I believe Kate just completely undercuts that. Outside of the moment where Anthony fiercely defends the Sharmas and gives the swift boot to the Sheffields that they deserved, I think a standout scene in episode 5 is when Kate and Anthony talk after dinner. And Anthony tells her that if he were to marry Edwina, it would trap them into this forever need that could never be quenched unless it was dishonorable. And I love how frank and vulnerable and sound that is in the midst of all of their feelings that they just cannot explain or ignore. I loved the dialogue in this scene when he tells her, "You are the bane of my existence and the object of my every desire." I swooned. If I could consume those words any other way, I would. I absolutely loved that part. But yes, the scene where they are in the woods really bothered me because, like I said, I believe Kate undercut everything that they established in that scene. We have one that I believed was honest, vulnerable, and sound, and another scene that felt like it was clearly placed there in order to propel the plot in a particular direction. It kind of reminded me of when I'm reading and I can feel an author plotting. Like I always say that I don't like seeing the stitching because a tailor knows how to hide the seams. But this scene really amplified how, at least for me, Kate withholding pertinent information for so long. It amplified how that made me side-eyed her character. I was just kind of like, because it's not out of her prioritizing her sister. It is out of her hiding from her own desires. It is out of her running from a future that is within her grasp. She is not the headstrong Kate that I know. She is in such debilitating fear that she's willing to allow her sister to settle. She's willing for her sister to have less and serve as a scapegoat for her inability to be honest with herself. It was a depiction of female martyrdom that was difficult for me to watch, to the point where it was nonsensical, to the point where it was unfavorable and actually bolstered some very stereotypical depictions of women. And so when she tells Anthony to still marry Edwina under the guise of not breaking her heart, it didn't matter that I was getting orchestral Alanis Morissette or that I want to weave to mimic that freaking side braid, okay? At that point, I was done and I was tired of being distracted by pretty things, okay? I was pissed off at her logic. It made no sense to me until we got to episode 6, okay? I was like, oh, we're taking this love triangle all the way to the altar because we got to use that budget. I get it. And it doesn't matter whether we differ or agree on this entire season as a whole. I think the majority of us know that episode 6 was drawn out for far too long. Okay, listen, this is a safe space, okay? You don't have to say anything in the comments. You can just agree with me from wherever you are watching. I'll say it for you. Episode 6 was way too damn long, okay? I mean, why was there even a choice here? Who was not screaming, call the shit off already? Oh my God. The one thing that I did not want on screen was the deterioration of their sisterly bond. So when Edwina emphasizes to Kate that she is her half sister, I just felt like I got shanked, okay? Shanked, like full Zorro Z and everything, filleted. It was too damn much. Edwina harboring all of these feelings for Anthony was too damn much. Okay, I don't want to shun her monologues about reclaiming her voice and her identity, because I will say those are well written, but I think I would be able to enjoy those more had this episode not felt like freaking edging. I just wanted release. I wanted to be released from this love triangle. This is the episode and the reason why you're not getting a vlog. I'm gonna be completely transparent. This is why this video is being uploaded a day late. I had to pivot, okay? Because by the time I was on episode 4, my favorites, Jess from Peace Love Books and Tori from Novel Life, they had released Binging Bridgerton vlogs. And I knew Jessin from Jessin Reads Romance was gonna release hers because she told us during her what she hoped to see in season 2 video. So I thought, these women are smart and clever. They're getting their opinions out quickly in one go. I think I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon here. So I filmed a vlog. And the B-roll, and a lot of it, I was scowling. My updates were very ragey. okay, and sassy. And I did not want to put that out into the world. And if I'm like completely honest, I just feel like if you're a viewer of mine, you deserve better, okay? I mean, maybe a little makeup, some effort. You were getting sweats and PJ sets, okay? And in my defense, the only thing I had control over in terms of this show was my attire, my environment, and my snacks. And I wielded that control by way of the utmost comfort, to the point where, I don't know, the images of my appearance as I was editing that together scared myself. Shit. I shouldn't tell you this. That is why we're doing a sit down video today. Let me just move on. Episode 6. I did not care what the Featheringtons were doing. Excuse me. I did not care about what was going on that lawn. I'm not going to make any commentary on Eloise, ditching out to go see Theo. I, for one, have made similar choices in my lifetime, okay? I have taken my Fuckboy 101 to 110 courses. Every woman has her journey, and we're not judging in this space, so we're not going to comment on that. But we finally get a freaking kiss in this episode. And even though I hope to still get booked in future production gigs, I'm just going to be honest and say this. Okay. The shot choice for the kiss was fitting. This is a world-shifting moment. The 360 shot was the play. Where they fumbled for me was in the editing. They cut that scene up so much. I was disoriented, and not in the way that shot is supposed to do. Not in the way in which that shot is supposed to draft me into the mind of the characters. And it bothered me. And I was primed for that classic 360 kiss shot. I'm gonna sidebar and tell you about a camera choice that I loved, okay? The camera choice that I believe primed me for this moment. Just let me geek out a little bit. I'm a little bit of a film head. I liked the cross-cutting scene that preceded the wedding. The one between Anthony Benedict and Colin. We're cross-cutting to Mary, Edwina, and Kate. Loved that. And I loved the moment where we're on Anthony and we get that topsy-turvy telegraphing with the sway of the camera, and we know that he's drunk. And I just felt like it was smart. So when this kiss came up, I thought we were gonna get the classic. You ever been kissed with Drew Barrymore when she's on the pitcher's mound and she's finally gonna get her kiss with Mr. Coulson? Classic clean 360. I mean, I could come up with 10 more examples. You all know it. We've been conditioned by Hollywood. I'm just mad that they cut that up for me. That's the cinephile in me being bothered. And I'll move on. Just give me a moment. That was disappointing. Episode 7. The promenading in that episode was where my reading experience really eclipsed my viewing, because I felt like it gave such a disservice to the Bridgerton name. For them to care, for Lady Danbury to care that much, just seemed so far-fetched. And even if I take the books out of it and we stay within the overall economy of the show, thinking back to episode 2 when Lord Lumley is even talking about how highly regarded the Bridgertons are, even when Kate is scoffing, right? For them to fall that far down just seemed so ridiculous. I don't even care about that wedding. That would not have done it. And I just didn't enjoy that. I have a few more things I want to mention. I will say that the scene of steam that we got, I thoroughly enjoyed. I found that to be so moving, and honestly, I think it was far more moving than some of the steamy scenes that we got from the first season, outside of Daphne's first time. I mean, honestly, Kate was just out there throwing bait. Who doesn't maximize the use of lingerie like that? Okay. It was intimacy on screen, which is why I just was wondering, like, since we're already off book here, why aren't we getting more of it? Like, why did we only get 2 seconds with them after everything that they put us through, after everything we endured, honey? We can't get a few more moments with our couple. It just didn't work for me. I don't even pick books up like that, okay? If you're gonna drag me through angst, darkness, whatever, the payoff better be sweet. You better give me some time in the damn sunshine, okay? And if you're gonna slowly depreciate the relationship between another 2 women, please don't make it be about a man again. What bothered me about the falling out between Penelope and Eloise was the fact that Eloise felt betrayed because Penelope's actions cost her Theo, not her reputation. She says it plainly. Theo was at the core of what was between them. I know this is a show here. I know that we have to produce drama, but it was disheartening to have that really be the issue. And I hope Penelope makes freaking Colin work for it after he tells those scoundrels that in his wildest dreams, he would never court her. The whiplash that Colin put her through in that episode. Oh, my baby. It was so freaking heartbroken. Ooh. I know by now, I think we all pretty much can discern that the next season is going to be between Colin and Penelope. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like I won't be watching it. I will say that this season has really helped me and will really help me go into that with a better idea of what they could possibly do with the characters that I love so much. Okay? I'm going to be honest, I'm not a viewer that doesn't know how to separate source material with what makes its way onto the screen. I'm a script reader. I've done a ton of coverage. I've given my analysis and my recommendation to studios based on their brand. I understand the development process. I do. But in these videos and in my space, I took that hat off to give you my true response and reaction as a viewer and as a book lover. So, despite every single frame of this being gorgeous, and despite my inability to fault the captivating performances that is simply what they were, and some of the dialogue in the show was just pure magic, I still walked away from this season disappointed, and it was very difficult to watch as a book lover. And I was disheartened by that. I have to be honest. Now, I do hope that you thoroughly enjoyed the show. I think had I not gone in with the knowledge of the books, I still would have hoped that they cut down on a lot of the side plots and focused more on the main romance. But I probably could have enjoyed it more had I not had, the books in my mind. So I can understand, although you're not asking for it, why some people or a lot of people really enjoyed this. And I am happy. I am happy for you if you really enjoyed this season. I honestly, I wanted a little bit more. That's okay. We can't always get what we want. I also would like to thank you for joining me, for watching each and every one of these videos. If you have, even if you just popped in for one, if you just popped in for some, I have a really small channel and it means a lot that you would watch. I hope you can consider subscribing and sticking around, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.